Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be going over my Volt Prime build. Now, one thing that I want to point out really quick is that you will see that I am not running 5 Tau Forge purples. This is just a different kind of build, right? At some point, I will go back and, maybe make a build for 5 Tau Forge purples for electricity damage and things like that. If you're going to do that, you'll want to run probably Terrify or Pillage. I'd probably recommend Terrify with its augment, and then running either the running one of these two augments, either Recharge Barrier or Capacitance. I'd probably recommend Capacitance just because that's a passive shield generation, and that's pretty good. If you don't want to worry about that, you can just run Pillage, and that also works as well. It covers both bases in one go. For this build, this is going to be kind of an off-meta build, obviously, and yeah, I find that this build is very fun. I really like playing it, especially, I mean, you could take this into Steel Path and anything like that, and it'll perform perfectly fine. Again, level cap is a different story. A lot of people think that when I put endgame in my title, that means level cap. I barely ever go to level cap. I don't expect any of my viewers that are watching this to go to level cap. If anybody wants a level cap build for any of the frames that I've made builds for, then you can absolutely ask me for them and I will, give you a build that you can take to level cap. Do I think that any of my builds, including this one, will have issues in level cap? No. Main reason is because the shield gating is there, the shield generation is there, the energy economy is there, and the weapon damage and everything like that is there. So as long as your weapons are up to par, the builds should be able to comfortably take you to level cap if you want to go there. But I do understand that like 80% of people probably are not going to be going to level cap. Another thing that I wanted to point out in this video is if you have been keeping up with my channel, if you're seeing this on YouTube or my TikTok, if you are obviously seeing this on TikTok, is that this is the last frame that I have to cover, right? So this frame is going to be the last, well, it's not going to be the last one that I'll ever make a build for, but after this point, I will have a build that is Steel Path and Endgame worthy for every frame in the game. Now, that being said, what I need from y'all is if there have been any builds that I've posted in the past for any frame, or if there's any frame in particular that y'all want to see, like, a reworked build for, or things like that. Because some of my builds are old. Some of them are kind of old. I haven't touched them in a long time. They just still function and they still work very well. So that's why I keep them. Frost is a good example of this. He's one of those builds that I made that I've made it a while ago, but it still holds up today. Another example would be, what is another good example? I'm trying to think. Chroma, maybe. Probably not though. Necros is an older one. There was another one that I remember looking at Oberon. Oberon is definitely one that I can go back and, that kind of thing, even though he performs extremely well. And that is a more recent build, but there are a lot of augments that you can run with him and things like that. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Oberon. So what I need from y'all is let me know in the comments if there is any weapon, any frame, anything that you would like to see a build for. Let me know, and I will work on getting a build out for that thing. So if y'all want to see a reworked Frost build, Frost is actually probably going to be the first frame after I post this video. Frost is probably going to be the first frame that I'm going to go back and actually rework my build for. Specifically because of my overguard philosophy, which is you don't need a ton of overguard, you just need a way to consistently get overguard. So you don't need to sit there and, work every single strength mod to get a ton of overguard and things like that. You can just have a decent amount. So enough yapping about the channel. Just wanted to put that there because, it's important, and I'm very happy that I've covered every frame. and now it's, kind of the fun part where I get to go back and just make a bunch of silly builds that again can perform in Steel Path and endgame content and things like that, but probably things that are more enjoyable to play and are not considered, meta slop and things like that. So yeah, without further ado, these are the Archon shards that I am running on Volt. We have two Tau Forged Reds for duration. We have one Tau Forged Yellow for casting speed, one Tau Forged Yellow for effectiveness on energy orbs, and one Tau Forged Yellow for parkour velocity. Archon shards are completely, personal preference, right? These are my personal preference Archon shards. If you want to change them, run something different, be my guest, you can absolutely do so. For the helmet ability, I run Pyrotechnics just because it's just a funny ability to run with Volt. Um, Not much that I really want to say about that. It's just a funny ability. So, for the actual build itself, we have this. Feel free to pause at any point to look at these mods and see what they do if you do not already know what they do. And yeah, that's all I want to say about Volt. Now from this point on, let's get into the Steel Path gameplay.